Okay, good day everyone. We will continue our discussion on segmented cables. Now we will try to answer example number 2. Let me read the problem. The cable supports the three loads shown. Determine the magnitude of P1. So kukunin natin tong magnitude ng P1. Ito. If P2, etong dalawa, P2 yan sila, so the same magnitude. Sabi dito, if P2 is 600 newtons. Okay, 600 newtons to. Ito din 600 newtons. Okay, sorry. And YB, itong sag dito sa point B is equivalent sa 3 meters. So, ito daw 3 meters. Okay? And also find the sag dito sa YD or itong Y sub D. So, kukunin natin yung Y sub D at saka itong P1. Okay? So, bago tayo magsagot ng ganitong problem, you first try to analyze the problem. So, saan ba tayo, ano ba yung magiging approach natin? Saan ba tayo magmo-moment? Saan ba tayo mag-i-evaluate ng point? Ganyan, no? So, ang kukunin natin, target natin is to find the point P sub 1, no? Now, kung ikakat natin itong buong cable o buong segmented cable into two equal parts such that kung ikakat natin tong hanggang dito, okay, dito, no? And then, what we can do is to sum up the moment at point E. Kung mag-sum up tayo ng moment sa point E, yung mga reactions dito, pag ganyan, that is equivalent to 0. Ay, yung mga moments dito, no? Then, the only merong moment is ito, at saka itong P1, kung magkakat tayo dito. Okay, tama ba? Okay, meron itong P1. Okay? So, ikakat natin itong segment na to into two equal parts. Dito tayo sa point C makakat, no? And then, makukuha natin ito, may moment ito, at saka ito. So, makukuha natin si P1. There. Then, next is we can also evaluate dito sa point D. Such that, meron man tayong 600 dito, no? And then, ito, unknown. Ito din, unknown. Tama ba? So, therefore, we have two unknowns at point D. Tama ba? Makukuha natin yung angle dito. Dito sa point D. And that is the same thing sa angle dito, no? And then, we can create this triangle. Since this is 3 meters, ito 1, tsaka ito YD. So, 1 plus YD, yan yung side na to. Ito 3 meters, nakuha natin yung angle, then masasolve na natin yung value ng YD. So, basically, masasolve lang itong problem na to into two parts. Okay? Makukuha natin yung YD at saka P1 in two steps. So, una, ikakat natin to, yung cable natin, pag ganito. So, kukunin natin tong section na to. So, galing dito, yan kukunin natin yung section. Section AA, sabihin natin. So, cut lang tayo ng mga dito. So, A. So, ditong part na to, kukunin natin yan, no? So, let me just draw it. Okay? So, meron tayong ganito. Sorry. Meron tayong ganito. Tsaka ganito. Okay? This is the point E. This is the point D. And this is the point C. Okay? So, lagay natin yung mga forces na involved. We have here P1, yung unknown natin. And ito, P2, which is equivalent sa 600. Then, as I've said, meron tayong mga reactions dito, E sub Y at saka E sub X. So, no need na natin yung kukunin since we need only to evaluate yung P1 or find P1. Now, lagay natin naman yung mga important dimensions. So, una, itong 600, if i-moment natin yung sa point E, it will have a perpendicular distance, ito yon which is equivalent sa 3 meters. Itong point 1 also may perpendicular distance yan, which is coming from point E, and that is said to be equivalent sa 6 plus 3 or that is 9. Tama ba? 6 plus 3 or equivalent sa 9. So, yan yung mga gagamitin nating important dimensions to solve for this problem. Okay? So, other than that, ano pang mga reactions na ma-involve dito? Wala na ba? Okay. Ano pala? Meron pa pala, no? Kung dito tayo magka-cut, sorry. Kung dito tayong magka-cut, hindi pala pwede tayo mag-cut dito sa mismong joint niya, no? So, ang mangyari niyan, makakat din ito. So, we need pala i-cut through here. Okay. Ito yung cut natin, no? Ito yung magiging cut pala natin dapat. So, such that, meron pa tayong unknown dito na to class. Point 4 CD. Meron pa tayong point dito. Okay, hindi line. Sorry. Meron pa tayong CB dito. So, we need to find muna dito pala yung value ng CB. Okay? So, kukunin muna natin yan. We can take the joint or we can take the joint B. Okay? Kukunin natin yung joint B na yan. This is 600. And this one is, sorry, this one is equivalent ito sa BA. Then, ito yung inahanap natin, CB. Okay? Ito, may 3 meters daw dyan. So, we can directly solve for the value of etong angle na to. Okay, angle na to. So, we can solve for the angle there. So, meron tayong angle dito. Angle, let's say for example, angle sub A. Then, also, masasolve din natin angle na to, no? This one is your angle. Sabihin natin angle C. Okay. Wherein yung angle C natin, if i-draw natin yan dito, okay, this is your angle C, this is your angle A. So, meron tayong triangle na bubuo. 3, ito dyan 3, no? Yan. 3 ito kasi 3 ito kasi 3 ito, no? Then, if this is 4 minus 3, then definitely, this is equivalent sa etong side na to, this is equivalent sa 1. Then, itong side na to, ito, that is equivalent sa 6, no? So, meron tayong triangle. So, unang triangle na mabubuo natin is itong triangle ni A at saka B, connecting A at saka B. So, this is your angle A. So, this is 3 meters. This is also 3 meters. So, obviously, that is equivalent. Kung kukunin natin yung angle A natin, that is tangent of angle A, 3 over 3 or just 1. So, therefore, your angle A natin is 45 degree. Okay? Then, for your angle C, so, draw natin yung triangle na to. Okay? This is 1, this is 6, and this is your angle C, no? So, tangent of your angle C, that is opposite 1 all over the adjacent 6. So, your angle C pala is equivalent sa arctan of 1/6. So, kunin natin yung calculator. Arctan of 1 over 6. And that is equivalent sa 9.46. Okay, ito 9.46 degree. Okay? So, meron na tayong mga triangles na to, angles na to. So, masasolve na natin yung angle CB. So, pwede natin gawin is we can sum up the forces along, okay, we can sum up the forces along X, equate that to 0. So, same thing pa rin yung magiging assumption natin. So, we have here CB, positive yan. And then, cosine of angle C, which is 9.46 degree. Minus itong BA. BA, then that is cosine of angle A, which is equivalent sa 45 degrees. Okay, and that is equate to 0. Tama ba? And, next is yung summation ng forces natin along Y, equate that to 0. Positive yung magiging assumption natin, paitaas. So, we have here, unahin natin yung CB, negative CB yan. Sine of 9.46 degree. And then, added by, we have here BA. Then, that is sine of angle A, which is 45 degree. So, inuna natin yung CB kasi para this is our first equation kasi. And this is our second equation. So, yung nauna dito na unknown, yan din mauuna dito din. And aside from that, we also have this 600. Since kung ilalagay natin yung 600 dito sa equation na to, magiging negative din yan, no? Magiging negative 600. So, transposing that to other side, magiging positive 600 na to. Okay? Para ma-isolate yung mga constant. Then, kukunin natin yung calculator natin. So, basically, we need to solve solving two unknowns, two equations. So, Caltech na lang gagamitin natin. solving two unknowns, solving two unknowns, two equations. So, kunin natin yung calculator natin, no? So, punta tayo sa mode equation. Mode equation. Then, two unknowns to equation. Unahin natin yung cosine. Cosine 9.46. Okay? And then, minus cosine 45. And that is equivalent sa 0. Okay? Then, we have here negative sine of 9.46 degree. Then, to be added by sine of 45. Then, that is equivalent sa 600. So, ang sagot natin dito is yung x natin, which is yung CB natin, is equivalent sa, okay, yung CB natin, which is equivalent sa 792.89. Okay. 7, okay, so 792 o 729? 729 pala. 729.89 newtons, and yung BA natin, although yung CB lang yung gagamitin natin dito, so kukunin natin yung BA natin, no? Yung BA natin is equivalent sa 1018.18. 1018.18 newton. So yan yung value ng CB natin at saka BA. So yung CB natin yung magagamit natin dito. Okay? So we have our CB, and 'di ba? Kung anong angle dito, yan din yung angle dito. Okay? Dito, angle C yan. So gawa natin ulit yung ating section. Okay, so we now have our angle here. Angle CB, angle C. Okay, that is equivalent sa 9.46. Yan ang angle C. Now, makasum up na tayo ng moment dito sa point A. Tama? If we will be summing up the moment at point A, point E pala, point E. Okay, summing up the moment at point E, makukuha na natin yung value ng P1 natin. So, again, magmo-moment tayo sa point E, yung EY at saka EX will have no moment. Ano lang may moment? Itong 600, itong P1 at saka yung CB. Ang CB may dalawang components yan. We have here the horizontal component saka yung vertical components niya. Para madali, yung vertical components niya, it's the same thing as dito, yung perpendicular distance niya, 9. And yung horizontal distance, yung horizontal component naman niya, ito yon, no? Ano yung distance niya papuntang point E. So, ito yon, no? This is the distance papuntang point E, perpendicular distance, and that is 4 plus 1. Meron tayong 1 dito. Tama ba? So, therefore, lahat yan is, itong part na to, lahat ito is equivalent sa 5. 4 plus 1. Okay? So, gamitin natin yan. Unahin natin. Let's say, for example, yung magiging positive natin is counterclockwise. So, itong 600, magiging counterclockwise yan. Positive, no? So, that is multiplied by 3. We have P1, our unknown. And that is 9. Counterclockwise, positive. Then, clockwise, yung isa pa, itong CB na vertical component. So, ano yung CB natin? 729.89. 729.89. Negative yan kasi clockwise yung magiging direction niya. And that is sine of yung 9.46. Okay, 9.46. And that is equivalent multiplied by the perpendicular distance, which is 9. And another thing, itong CB din na vertical, horizontal, that is negative also kasi magiging clockwise yung direction niya, and that is cosine of 9.46, and that is to be multiplied by 5. Therefore, makukuha na natin yung P1 natin, which is equivalent sa, okay, kunin na natin yung calculator. So, we have 600 multiplied by 3, yung plus P1, which is yung X natin, multiplied by 9, minus 729.89, then sine 0.9.46, to be multiplied by 9. Then, lastly, we have negative 729.89 cosine of 9.46 to be multiplied by 5. So, equate that to 0. Then, shift solve. Makakuha na natin yung value ng ating P1, which is equivalent sa 319.94 Newton. So, yan yung magiging value ng ating P1. Okay? Yan yung magiging sagot natin. That is for the first unknown. So, makakuha na natin yung nakuha na natin yung P1, then makukuha na natin din yung YD. Okay. For YD, i i-assure or i-evaluate natin itong point D na to. Okay? So, point D na yan, draw lang tayo dito at joint D. Okay, at joint D, sorry. At joint D. So, meron tayong 600 newtons dito, doon dito, and then we have here D to E. Then, we also have, ano yun, class? We have here D to C. Okay? So, ito yun, D to C. D to C. So, ang gusto nating kukunin is yung angle na, anong angle? Angle na to, no? So, we need to solve for the angle. Gawa tayo dito ng parang arbitrary y and coordinate axis. Okay, y and x coordinate axis. So, kukunin natin yung angle E na to. So, the same thing din dito sa angle na to, no? So, ito yung angle na kukunin natin as well as, ano tong angle na to, class? Itong angle na to. So, let's evaluate, no? Baka makukuha natin yung value na yan. Parang meron tayong ganito, no? Symmetrical sila, class. Hindi natin masasabi na symmetrical, no? Kasi we don't have the value of YD. So, pero, meron tayong 1 dito, then we have also 6, no? So, makukuha din natin tong value na to. Same thing lang pala sila, which is equivalent yan sa nung value na to. Since this is 6 and this is 1, okay, yung value nito is equivalent sa value nito. Tama ba? So, parang angle C lang din yan, which is equivalent sa 9.46. Okay, so therefore, we have here the value here, no? Which is equivalent sa 9.46. Ito yun. 9.46. Okay, itong value na to. Sorry. Wala. So, itong value na to is equivalent sa 9.46 degrees. Okay? So, kukunin lang natin yung value ng angle E natin. So, to do that, basically, we need to solve for nung isa-solve natin, class, for the value of DE at saka CD. Okay, DE at saka CD. So, we can sum up the forces along X bar and equate that to 0. So, we have here DE. Okay, kukunin natin to una, cosine of angle E, no? And then, do we have the value of for DC? DC. Hold on, hold on. Wala tayong value niya, no? Sandali lang, class, Wala pa tayong value ng DC, no? So, I think we need to solve for the value of DC muna bago tayo mag-solve ng angle nito. Kasi, we have magiging 3 unknowns to, class. Ito, at saka ito, no? So, bago tayo sa joint D, kukunin muna natin yung value ng DC. Okay, pero pwede natin ito pagpatuloy, no? So, that is negative DC, then cosine of 9.46, equate that to 0, then summation of forces along Y, equate that to 0. So, we have here DE, sine of angle E, then minus DC, then that is sine of 9.46, yung minus 600, equate that to 0, transpose natin yung negative 600, magiging positive 600. So basically, ito yung first equation, ito yung second equation. But we need to solve for this value muna, itong DC. We don't have that value muna, no? So, gagawin natin is to take the joint C, itong joint C na to. Since we now have the value of BC, which is equivalent sa 729, no? 0.89, then makukuha natin yung value ng CD. Considering similar lang itong magiging value nito. Pero I think yung magiging value niyan similar lang din sa yung value ng CD similar lang din yung magiging value niya, no, dun sa tawag nito. Check na natin kung magiging similar ba. So, we have here C, then we have here yung value natin which is 319, no? 319.90 yung value natin, 94. That is your P1. And then meron tayong BC which is 729.0. 729.89. So, ito. Okay, 729.89. Ito yung angle nito. Itong angle na to dito. That is equivalent sa, ano yung equivalent yan? 9 point, hold on, 9.46. Ito yun, di ba? 9.46 angle niyan. And then, kukunin natin itong value ng CD. Since ito, 9.46 din yan, no? Kasi similar lang yung dimensions ng angle natin. So, we have here, ito, yun. Okay? We have 6 and still we have 6 at saka yung value nito which is 1. Tama ba? Pwede ba natin sabihin na 1 ito? Hindi, no? Hindi pala natin pwede sabihin class kasi hindi naman similar yung YD at saka YB, no? So, we cannot assume na 9.46 din yan, no? So, pero, okay, we have two unknowns to equation. So, makukuha natin yung value ng CD at saka yung value nitong dito. Okay, we cannot assume pala, no, na similar lang sila. Okay, so, therefore, gagawin natin, is to solve for the value of angle D. Okay? So, for angle D at saka CD, okay, we can, sum of the forces along X equate that to 0. So, we have your CD cosine of angle D minus 729.89 cosine of 9.46 degree. Tama ba? And then, that is equivalent to 0. Then, lastly, summation of forces along Y equate that to 0. So, we have here CD and then sine of angle CD. Then, we have here negatives, positive pala. Positive 729.89. And that is sine of 9.46. Equate that to, meron pa tayong negative. Negative 319.94. Equate that to 0. So, gawin natin. So, first, this is second equation. This is first equation. I-divide natin yung second equation by the first equation. So, makukuha natin value niyan. If we will be dividing dito, we have CD sine of angle CD. Okay? And then we have here CD cosine of angle CD. Gagawin natin is itatranspose natin lahat to, no? So, una yung sa CD, we have 729.184. 84 pala yan, no? 84 o 89? 89, I think. 89. So, we have here 89. 89, that is cosine of 9.46 degrees. Yan yung for CD natin na first equation, no? And then, for the second equation, ito, transpose natin lahat yan. Magiging positive 319.94 minus itong 729.89 sine of 9.46. Sine of 9.46. Okay? So, therefore, cancel itong CD na to. So, makukuha natin yung ang tangent of angle CD. Equivalent siya sa, so, anong value nito, class? 319.94 minus 729.84 sine of 9.46. Okay, divided by 729.89. That is cosine 9.46. So, equate that. Magiging 0.277. 0.2777697. Okay, yung angle CD pala is equivalent sa arctan of 0.2777697. Or gawin natin, shift tan of your answer. Ang bibigyan natin dito is 15.52 degrees. Okay, kung 15.52 degrees ito, I think pwede na natin ito isosolve, no? Yung value nitong, okay, we don't need the value nung sa CD, I think. Sorry, DC, no? Kasi kung makukuha natin tong value na to, itong part na to, okay, sorry, this one, okay, nakuha naman natin yung angle dito, which is yung 15, no? So, etong part na to, diba, that is equivalent sa 4. Itong part na to, 4 minus YD, no? At saka ito, 6. So, masasolve na natin yung angle D. Tama ba? Makusolve na natin yung YD pala. So, pwede na tong angle CD or angle D, no? Yung part nito. So, gawin natin, gawa tayo ng triangle, no? Gawa tayong triangle. Ito. So, ito 4 minus YD yan. Ito 6. Tsaka ito, mayroon tayong angle na yan which is equivalent sa 15.52 degrees. So, masasolve na natin yung YD. Tama ba? Okay, balik tayo ha. So, nakuha natin tong angle na to. Baliktad pala, no? Hold on. Baliktad pala yung angle, triangle ko. So, parang ganito pala yung triangle. Tama ba? Angle CD. Yung CD, ito yung ibig sabihin na, no? Angle CD. So, meron tayong etong angle, etong side na to class, since this is 4 lahat, tas minus YD, so ito is 4YD. Ito 6 pa rin yan, no? So, makukuha na natin yung value ng YD. So, yan lang. So, this is 15.52. This is 4 minus YD. Ito, magiging 6. So, therefore, gamitin na natin yung tangent of 15.52. Equivalent yan sa 4 minus YD all over 6. Okay, all over 6. Hold on. Ito yung 6 ha. So, we have here 6 tangent of 15.52 minus equivalent sa 4 minus YD. So, gawin natin yung YD, transpose natin. Ito, transpose din natin. Magiging YD equivalent sa 4 minus 6 tangent of 15.52. So, anong value makukuha natin dito, class? So, therefore, that is 4 minus 6 tangent of 15.52. And that is equivalent sa 2.333. So, tingnan ko lang yung ano ha. So, ang sagot niyan is tama. 2.333 meters. Okay, yan yung sagot for YD or yung sag sa point D. Now, anong nangyari dito class? So, wrap up ko lang ha. Para hindi tayo malito, no? So, ang ginawa natin, una, okay, sorry, hindi ito kasali. So, una, okay, ginawa natin ha. Saglit lang class. I-wrap up ko class para maintindihan nyo, no? Since meron na tayong value nitong P2 already given, 600 at 600, ang ginawa natin, okay, kinat natin tong cable na to into two equal parts. Ito yun, no? So, section AA. So, kinuha natin tong part na to. Dito na part. Okay, dito na part kinuha natin. Para makuha natin yung anong makuha natin? Yung P1. Okay. So, meron tayong dalawang unknowns, itong CB, CB, at saka itong P1. So, to solve for the value of CB, ginawa natin, kinuha mo natin tong joint B. So, ito yon at joint B. Para makuha natin yung value ng CB. Okay. Pag kuha natin ng value ng CB, pinag-in natin dito, then nakuha na natin yung value ng P1. That is for the first unknown. Okay. Cut natin to, kukunin natin to, tapos kukunin muna natin yung value ng CB. So, nakuha na natin yung P1. Next is to solve for the value of YD. Ang ginawa natin, dito tayo sa joint C. Okay. Basically, itong process na to sa joint D, pwede na itong wala pala. Okay. So, erase ko lang to ha. Pwede na itong wala pala, no? So, basically, we just need this joint C. Okay. So, ang target lang natin is kunin yung value ng angle na to dito. Wait ha, hold on. So, ilagay ko lang to dito. Para maging clear. Okay. Hold on. Okay. So, nag-evaluate tayo sa joint C para makuha natin tong angle na to dito, which is tinawag natin angle CD. Okay. Okay, we have here angle CD. Ito yon angle CD. Ha? Angle CD. Okay, yan. So, ito yon angle CD. Then, nakuha natin yung angle CD, which is equivalent sa 15.52. After which, then, nagawa tayo ng triangle. Okay, triangle. relating yung YD at saka 4 at saka itong 6. Diba? Gawa tayo ng triangle na to. So, itong side na to, since this is 4 lahat, then minus YD. So, 4 minus YD. All over ito 6. We cannot assume that yung YB at saka YD equivalent. No, hindi yan. Kasi yung sabi dito 3 yung YB at saka yung YD is yung unknown. So, malamang iba yung value ng YD. Okay? Kasi nakuha natin yung angle CD which is iba din dito sa angle CB. Yung sa angle CB or angle C, that is 9.46. Okay? So, basically, that is the process in solving this type of problem. Okay? So, I hope nakuha nyo yung flow, no? Na pagsosolve nito. So, that's it for this video. Thank you for listening.